On April 20, 1889, Adolf Hitler was born in the small border town of Braunau in Austria-Hungary. The town was located near the border between Germany and Austria and was considered a peaceful place at the time. No one could have imagined that this child would one day change the course of world history. Hitler's father was Alois Hitler, who worked as an officer in the government customs service. Alois Hitler was known as a disciplined, strict, and authoritative man who treated his children firmly. His mother, Clara Hitler, was a calm, religious woman devoted to caring for her family. Clara loved all her children deeply, especially Adolf, with whom she shared a close bond. During his childhood, Hitler was very close to his mother and shared a strong emotional bond with her. The family lived a modest life and moved from time to time because of Alois's government job. During his childhood, Hitler spent his early years in various towns and cities across Austria. His father wanted his son to become a government official when he grew up. However, from an early age, Hitler showed a much greater interest in painting and art. As a result, disagreements often arose between father and son. The family maintained an atmosphere of discipline and simplicity, but disagreements about the future remained. His childhood experiences gradually began to shape Hitler's personality and way of thinking. At that time, no one imagined that this ordinary boy would one day influence the lives of millions. This small town of Braunau would become one of the most well-known birthplaces in history. In the years to come, Hitler's life would become deeply connected with European politics and world history. He was born into an ordinary family, but his future would prove to be extraordinary and highly controversial. This child, born in a small border town, would one day change the course of world history. During his childhood, Adolf Hitler was considered an average student and did not show equal interest in all subjects. He was especially interested in history and studied historical events with great attention. Stories about Europe's old empires and famous wars fascinated him greatly. He enjoyed reading books about great military commanders and historic wars repeatedly. His imagination became even more active while studying history. Painting was also one of his favorite interests, and he spent hours creating drawings. He found the architecture of buildings, castles, and churches especially fascinating. He practiced his artistic skills by sketching beautiful buildings. From childhood, his dream was to become a successful artist. He believed that he would one day make a name for himself in the world of art. However, his father, Alois Hitler, strongly disagreed with this dream. Alois wanted his son to grow up and become a government official. In his opinion, a government job represented respect, stability, and a secure future. Hitler repeatedly tried to convince his father that his true interest was only in art. This issue often led to heated arguments between father and son. Many times, their opinions differed so greatly that the atmosphere at home became tense. Hitler was much closer to his mother, Clara, because she understood his dreams. Clara always encouraged her son and gave him emotional support. These childhood family conflicts would later leave a lasting impact on his personality. The conflict between art and a government career became the first major challenge of his life. After his father's death, Adolf Hitler had the opportunity to make decisions about his own future. He now decided to fully pursue his long-held dream of becoming an artist. He believed that painting was the true purpose of his life. He planned to move to Vienna, the capital of Austria, to study art. At that time, Vienna was regarded as one of Europe's leading cultural and artistic centers. Hitler believed that his talent would be recognized there. He wanted to become a famous painter and earn respect and success. He arrived in Vienna carrying several paintings and sketches. He decided to apply for admission to the art academy. He was fully confident that his hard work and paintings would easily earn him admission. Hitler was very optimistic and excited about his future. He imagined that one day his paintings would become famous throughout Europe. He had placed all his hopes for the future on his dream of becoming an artist. At that time, he had no idea that his life was about to change completely. In Vienna, he was about to face difficult challenges and disappointments. The gap between his dreams and reality gradually began to appear. One event after another began to change the direction of his life. His dream of becoming an artist was now about to face a difficult test. In the years ahead, his failures would deeply influence his personality and way of thinking. This was the turning point where the dream of becoming an artist gradually began to transform into one of history's most controversial political journeys. After arriving in Vienna, Adolf Hitler took the first step toward achieving his greatest dream. He officially applied for admission to the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna. He was fully confident that his artwork would easily earn him admission. For the entrance examination, he submitted several of his paintings and sketches. The Academy examiners carefully evaluated his work. Sometime later, the results were announced, but Hitler's name was not on the list of selected students. His application was rejected for the first time, and he was not admitted. This failure dealt a severe blow to his self-confidence. Nevertheless, he did not give up and decided to try again the following year. He continued practicing constantly to improve his artistic skills. For the second time, he applied to the same academy. Once again, he hoped that he would achieve his goal. However, the academy rejected his application for the second time as well. The examiners believed that his architectural drawings were good. They also acknowledged that he possessed some artistic ability. However, they believed that he was not able to depict human figures and faces satisfactorily. Because of this weakness, he was denied admission to the academy. 2 consecutive failures dealt a severe blow to all his future plans. This event proved to be a major turning point in his life and began to have a profound impact on his thinking. His dream of becoming an artist had been shattered, and his life was now beginning to move in a completely different direction. After repeatedly failing to gain admission to the art academy, Adolf Hitler's life became filled with hardships. His dream of becoming an artist had been shattered, and he now faced a serious struggle to earn a living. Gradually, the savings he had left also began to run out. He had no stable source of regular income. Because of financial difficulties, he had to reduce his daily expenses. To support himself, he began painting small artworks and postcards to sell. He earned a little money by painting buildings, churches, and beautiful city landscapes. The sale of these paintings earned him only enough money to survive. For many days, he had to survive on very little food. Because of financial hardship, he had to live in inexpensive hostels and shelters. At times, even finding a safe place to stay became difficult for him. The years he spent in Vienna are considered among the most difficult of his life. During this period, he closely observed the lives of people from different social classes. He witnessed poverty, unemployment, and social inequality in the city. He became deeply interested in newspapers, books, and public speeches. During these years, he became familiar with many ideas related to society, politics, and nationalism. He began reading about and trying to understand different political ideologies and movements. His experiences in Vienna gradually influenced his personality and political thinking. These experiences would later play an important role in shaping his ideas. These years of poverty and struggle became a period that contributed to changing the course of his future. At the beginning of the 20th century, Vienna was regarded as one of Europe's most important cultural and political cities. As the capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the city served as a major center of administration and politics. People from different languages, cultures, and communities lived together in Vienna. People from many parts of Europe came here for education, trade, and employment. The city's diversity made it a unique meeting place of ideas and cultures. Art, music, literature, and architecture were flourishing rapidly in Vienna. Political discussions were common in the city's cafes and public spaces. People openly expressed their views about the nation, society, and the future of politics. Nationalism was steadily gaining influence across many European countries during that period. Imperialism and national identity had become important topics of public debate. Various political parties and ideologies were trying to gain public support. Economic inequality and social change were also frequent subjects of discussion. Young Adolf Hitler carefully observed and listened to these events and debates. He became familiar with new ideas through newspapers, books, and public speeches. The years he spent in Vienna gradually increased his interest in politics. He closely observed the changing society and political environment around him. Historians believe that this period influenced the development of his later political thinking. Many of his ideas began to develop during these experiences and circumstances. Vienna became not only a place where he lived but also a place where he learned and changed. This environment would later play a significant role in shaping his personality and political outlook. Although Adolf Hitler was born in Austria, he considered himself more closely connected to German culture. He believed that the German language, traditions, and history were an important part of his identity. From childhood, he had a deep interest in German history and famous historical figures. The achievements and growing strength of the German Empire impressed him. He gradually developed a strong interest in German culture and national identity. At that time, the spirit of nationalism was spreading rapidly across Europe and influencing many countries. Hitler also gradually became more interested in nationalist ideas. He came to believe that a strong and united nation could be more secure and influential for its citizens. While living in Vienna, he closely observed various political ideas and public debates. He learned about current events through newspapers, books, and political speeches. History and politics were becoming his primary subjects of study. Over time, his interest was no longer limited to art but increasingly expanded toward political subjects. He began trying to understand the political changes taking place across Europe. Topics related to Germany and its future increasingly attracted his attention. His ideas gradually began to develop around national identity and politics. These experiences began to lead his life in in a different direction than before. This growing political interest later became the foundation of his public life. According to historians, this was the period during which his political thinking began to develop. In the years to come, this interest would lead him toward entering the world of politics. His dream of becoming an artist had now faded into the background, and politics was becoming an increasingly important influence in his life. By 1913, Adolf Hitler's life had been marked by continuous struggles, failures, and financial hardships. He decided to leave Austria and settle in the German city of Munich. At that time, Munich was considered an important center of German culture and nationalist thought. Hitler believed that Germany could offer him new opportunities for his future. He began a simple life and carried new hopes for his future. He was still trying to support himself by doing small painting-related jobs. At the same time, he continued studying history, politics, and current events. Munich's social and political atmosphere brought new experiences for him. While living there, his interest in national and international politics continued to grow. At that time, tensions were steadily increasing across Europe, but ordinary people did not yet realize the seriousness of the coming crisis. Military rivalry and political disagreements among various countries were becoming increasingly intense. Europe was gradually moving toward a conflict that would become the largest war in history. Hitler was also observing these changing circumstances closely, but his own future remained uncertain. He had no idea that everything would change just 1 year later. In 1914, the outbreak of the First World War would lead all of Europe toward destruction. This war would change not only national borders but also the future of millions of people. During this war, the course of Hitler's life also began to change completely. An ordinary struggling young man was about to experience events that would shape his future. In the years to come, that same young man would become one of the most controversial political leaders in world history. But by 1913, he was simply an ordinary young man trying to manage his life. He held no political position and had no significant public recognition. He was neither the leader of any country nor considered a well-known figure at that time. His greatest concern was his future and earning a living. Yet history was preparing a completely different path for him. The signs of war in Europe were becoming more apparent than ever before. Soon, the call to war would sound, and like millions of other young men, Hitler would also be drawn into it. The First World War was about to become the most decisive turning point in his life. From this point, his story was about to enter a new chapter. The events that followed would influence not only his life but also the course of world history. In the next chapter, we will explore how the First World War permanently changed Adolf Hitler's life, thinking, and future.